There was a time, recent enough that we still taste it, when luxury felt unstoppable. Price increases were almost a status ritual, a new price, a new headline, and a collective shrug that this is the market. But markets listen. People vote with wallets, attention, and trust. Today, that voice is saying something urgent. The old equations that equated higher price with unquestioned desire are fracturing. Luxury is not collapsing. It is being asked to explain itself. And in that explanation, some houses will thrive and some will be exposed. The first story we must tell is the obvious one. Demand is softening. The giants, groups that once seemed immune, are reporting declines in core fashion revenues and falling profits. This is not a seasonal blip. It's an industry-wide recalibration driven by several converging forces. Price ceilings reached, the cooling of Chinese tourist spending, and a new generation that measures value differently. These are hard numbers and strategic wake-up calls. Why does price matter so much right now? Because price used to be shorthand. It signaled exclusivity, craft, and status simultaneously. But the shorthand has been overused. When price keeps rising without corresponding clarity about what the money buys, better materials, demonstrable craftsmanship, superior service, consumers begin to ask sharper questions. Value is not simply cost, it is a bundle. Product integrity, aftercare, resale mechanics, and the rituals that make ownership rewarding. McKinsey and Bain are telling the same story. Price increases have run into diminishing returns, and younger consumers, especially Gen Z, are more skeptical and selective about the meaning of luxury. That skepticism shows up in surprising ways. One, we see louder conversations about quality. People who were once willing to forgive a scuffed finish because it's luxury now post photos, reviews, and long threads about leathers that wear too soon, lining that phrase, or stitching that unravels. When an object costs 5 figures, tolerance for imperfection collapses into rage. That reaction is not purely emotional, it's a rational consumer demand. If I pay more, I expect demonstrably better. The emotional side is political. The rational side is economic. Together, they create a volatile pressure on brands. 2, resale is reshaping expectations. The second-hand market is booming. It's not a niche anymore. Consumers are learning that a product's long-term value, how it wears, how it ages, how it holds a price, matters as much as its launch day sparkle. Resale growth means buyers can judge real-world durability rather than brand promises alone. When a bag or a shoe trades for less on the resale market than the retail premium suggests it should, trust erodes quickly. The platforms that authenticate, grade, and sell designer items have made longevity visible, and that visibility is not always flattering to the most heavily hyped pieces. A third dynamic is cultural. The performance economy of the 2010s, where attention equals value, has given way to a more discerning cultural mood. After a decade of maximalism, irony, and spectacle, many people are tired. They long for coherence. But coherence is not the same as sameness. What the market is asking for now is clarity. Tell me what this brand stands for. Build products that embody that purpose and demonstrate care across the product lifecycle. When houses chase every cultural moment, new collabs, new logos, daily drops, they risk diluting their core. The consumer's brain is now trained to detect overreach. Let us be precise about where the pain shows up. The public financials are candid. The largest luxury groups have recorded declines in fashion and leather goods, categories that used to be growth engines. Some houses that leaned heavily into repeated large price increases found that buyers stopped stepping forward on the same terms. Investors noticed, press noticed. The story is not moralizing, it is empirical. The supercycle of endless growth has slowed, and strategy must respond. So what are the root causes in practical terms? First, overpricing without transparency. When price hikes are not matched by visible upgrades, better leathers, better linings, enhanced finishing, superior warranties, consumers feel cheated. Luxury must prove its increases by showing where the money went. Second, inflation of brand collaborations and licensing. Some brands diluted craft by licensing or outsourcing in ways that made products feel generic. Long-time clients, those who know the house's codes, notice long before the wider market does. Third, strategic misreads about customers. The aspirational customer who paid up 5 years ago is different now. Younger buyers want narrative and ethics, how it was made, who made it, and whether it aligns with their values. Older, core customers still prize craft and service. Balancing both is the art of modern brand stewardship. Fourth, the transparency of authenticity. Social media is a double-edged sword. It can make craftsmanship legible, but it can also make flaws viral. A poorly finished seam shown to millions is a more potent story than the same seam shown to a boutique of loyal clients. Let's talk psychology. Why do people revolt? When price outruns perceived value, cognitive dissonance emerges. To reduce the discomfort, buyers either justify the purchase with storytelling, this is a status symbol, it's rare, it's an investment, or they voice outrage and withdraw. The louder the brand proclaims exclusivity, the harder the fall when consumers find evidence that exclusivity is cosmetic. Humans hate being duped, especially about identity-defining purchases. That emotional betrayal fuels the online complaints and long-form threads that have amplified the perception of a luxury crisis. From the brand's perspective, the solutions are not simply to drop prices. Price is a signal. Lowering it indiscriminately would damage perceived quality. The better path is multidimensional. 1. Invest visibly in product integrity, not PR statements. Actual investment in R&D, materials and aftercare that can be shown and audited. Make repair, resole and ration a core part of the buying experience, not an afterthought. 2. Restore the ritual. Luxury is ritualized ownership. Boutique experiences, personalized service, and transparent clienteling create relationships that survive market cycles. Those relationships reduce commodity comparisons and create long-term loyalty. 3. Lean into proved cultural roles. Brands that rediscover their unique codes and then live them consistently will find trust returns. The houses that wander shapelessly between aesthetics risk alienating both old and new customers. 4. Accept resale as a partner, not an enemy. Embrace authenticated resale programs, certified pre-owned and curated second-hand shops. By guiding the narrative of what their vintage or pre-loved pieces mean, brands retain storytelling authority. 5. Communicate honestly about price. Explain costs, provenance, and the practices that justify pricing. Consumers may not like high prices, but they respect honesty. When brands answer the why with transparency, suspicion fades. There will be winners and losers in this moment. Winners will be those who treat this as a design problem as much as a marketing or pricing problem. They will be houses that combine craft, transparency, and renewed storytelling that connects to real life, how the garment sits in the coat, how the shoe walks, how the bag ages. Losers will be houses that double down on theatrics, inflate scarcity for its own sake, or outsource the parts of the business that actually determine long-term value. Finally, what does this mean for you, the thoughtful consumer? It means buy with questions, not impulses. Ask about materials, warranties, repair services, and how the product will age. Read third-party reviews that report on long-term wear. Consider resale track record. Some pieces hold value because they are timeless and well-constructed. Others are hype-driven and fade fast. This moment in luxury is uncomfortable because it pierces the illusion that prestige is automatic. But it is also an opportunity, an invitation to demand better from the houses we invest in emotionally and financially. The smartest consumers will reward clarity, craftsmanship, and stewardship. The savviest brands will stop mistaking publicity for permanence. If there's one last thought, luxury is not dying, it is being refined. The market is asking for a return to meaning. For the maisons that remember how to be both beautiful and honest, this could be their finest hour. For those that don't, the public is ready to move on, and the internet will forever remember. Tell us below, which luxury brand do you think has earned its price tag recently, and which one left you feeling shortchanged? We will read every answer and build the next conversation from what you actually care about.